shortwave listening stations liking to check in now?
Number 85 is checking in.
And there's number 85. I think I'll put the X in the square because I had talked to you earlier, but there's the official X in the square. And the last week of our 8-week deal, so you'll be on the roster big time there, Tony. Sounding good, and thanks for remembering this is the Saturday night place to be.
Yeah, like I say, it's been a while, man. 2 houses later, I was finally able to get my antenna back up in the air, so it's nice to be back. You guys take care. Appreciate it.
All right, radio is definitely sounding good. All right, I'm going to go pick up the radio list, which is printed, but in not... Oh, wait a minute. I take that back. It's right here. I don't have to run anywhere. I thought I was going to sneak away for a break, but I can't do that. So let me go ahead and sign in. And this is for January 8th of 2011. The Jingle Singers, I don't know where they are. They're nowhere to be seen, so I think we're going to get started without them. They might show up here in a moment. But in the meantime, the old Tube Radio Network now listening for those glow-in-the-dark real radios. All right, a couple of stations out there. We will get all of you, and we'll pick them up as we go along. Starting off tonight, we're going to head over to SWL 35. Mr. Bill, tell us about the radio. All right, that's a good way to get us started off here for our shortwave listeners and those listening in on the internet tonight. Glow-in-the-dark radio. These are the radios of the Class D 11-meter citizen radio service. Starting in 1958 and manufactured all through up to the mid-1970s. This one a little bit earlier in the 60s. The Buddy Bass. Give us a transmission. Tell us about it. Browning and Demco did not have the market cornered on transmitter-receiver combinations, and then, of course, what you just heard, the Buddy, the TX11B, RC11B transmitter-receiver combination did one better by putting the speaker in a separate box and an on-the-air light. Coveted by many and owned by few, the Buddy Bass. Anybody who was around 40 years ago remembers that those were the loud stations. That plate modulation does it to you. Radio number 1 at 829, give us another transmission, Bill, and thanks for getting us started off with the Buddy Bass. All right, sounding good. Thanks for the Buddy Bass. Who was the other breaking station for checking in the radio? All right, we've got 29, and we'll keep them going here. Bill, you are radio number 2. Tell us what you've got the microphonium hooked up to tonight.
Okay, I'm checking in on my Tram D201A, old school 40-channel radio.
All right, Bill, loner out there in Clovis tonight on the damn tram. From the early 70s, early to mid-70s actually, because that's 40 channels, so that's after the FCC approved the extra frequencies, crystal controlled, of course, for 40 channels, and the D201A with the AM and the sideband. Give us another transmission, Bill. Tell us the microphone you're using tonight.
Okay, well, we're using the with the subject powered microphone.
Yeah, picking up good on the audio. Hear a little bit of background happenings going on, but your voice is right over the top there in the tram. For those who may not have seen one before, pretty much looks like a stereo radio of the mid-70s, like those Pioneer or Kenwood stereos. It's something that would look at home in the living room, I guess, next to all the electronic gear, rather than stuck in the radio room somewhere. Over.
Well, yeah. Out here where we're at, it's so doggone dusty, you can't keep them clean, I'll tell you that. I've got to go with my little duster every once in a while and clean them up, but otherwise it looks pretty good in the shape that it's in.
Oh yeah, well there's plenty of dust to go around, and that's part of the mystique of keying up the old tube radio, because not only do you get the sound, you get the aroma of the burning dust on those tubes, sounding good for our second radio on the list tonight, Bill, the Tram D201 Alpha 40 channels, upper and lower sideband. Give us another transmission, we'll be listening.
Okay, Dennis, well, this is it. Working. I don't know what would happen if you didn't get in there and just let them self-shot. Working. Okay. We'll get another one.
All right, radio sounding good. I think the mic button there was just making contact and not quite on contact, but it was key the whole time. So sounding good, and we'll look for another one. Thanks for bringing by the Tram D201A, the Old Tube Radio Network. We're listening for any and all check-ins, especially those glowing in the dark.
Break OTR.
The break OTR, I think that was 66. Go ahead.
Yes, sir, Dennis. Picked up another one. Saved him from the junk pile. Make sure it's working here. It's Sonar FS-23.
Yeah, from Sonar and the Witch Doctor. You've got a Fun Service 23. Really nice audio. Sounding really good. Give us another transmission on radio number 3 tonight.
Yes, sir, there, Dennis. Yeah, I'm running a gray bass amplified D104 on it with the old 10D sideband head. Seemed like it liked it, so I figured I'd run it and see what it does. 23 channels, a S meter, all ready to roll.
Yeah, really nice audio, not overdone. I mean, you can drive the Sonars hard if you want to, and they'll take it, but very, very nice quality audio, and I think it's done just right. The D104s we've heard on one of our earlier radios in that style, different heads, but the D104 style always works well on the classic old tube radios. And as he said, saving another one. Our tube operators here do a good job of rounding up the best and the brightest of the 11-meter Class D Citizen Radio Service radios, whether they be from yard sales or something that's been in the garage a while, or something off of eBay or Craigslist or the local swap meet. They do a good job of finding them and getting them on the air and making sure that the SWLs have a chance to hear what it might have sounded like sitting in front of the radio on a Saturday night back in 1968. Your radio number 3 tonight, Jim. Give us another transmission on the Sonar, and I hope we're going to be hearing a lot of that one.
Yes, sir. Well, it cleaned up real nice. It was kind of a yard sale deal there. A guy didn't really knew it was a radio, but he didn't know what it did. So anyway, like you said, we saved it. Cleaned up real nice. We'll unkey this one and warm up a couple more.
All right, excellent, crystal clear audio. I don't have the replay going on tonight, but you would definitely like what we're hearing, what the SWLs and myself are hearing tonight on that radio. Sonar Unservice 23, thanks for bringing it by. The Old Tube Radio Network standing by. Break OTR 26, 26, go ahead. They're faithful, old faithful. The tube radios, they will hang out for a year. years, 20 years, 40 years, 50 years. They'll just be waiting for you. You might get a little bit more dust burning off the tubes, depending on how long you wait. Radio number 4. And we haven't had one of these stop by in a while. So good choice tonight, Jim. The Webster Band Spanner 440. Give us another transmission. Over. Yeah, the early radios would be not all 23 channels, but they'd give you some selection. Sometimes they'd have one channel, but they'd give you selections and a way to maybe easily pull the crystals in and out. Another thing they would do, of course, is put a tunable VFO on the receive side, which was allowable by the FCC, and then let you save some money that way and tune in the frequencies you want, and then buy the crystals for the transmit side. From the collection of number 8, and we are sure glad that we got to know Everett there and all his radios, and thanks for keeping them on the air here. The Webster Band Spanner 440, radio number 4. Give us another transmission, Jim, and we'll be listening. You betcha. All right, we're on Old Tube Radio tonight ourselves. We'll get it checked in a little bit. The Old Tube Radio Network, real radios glowing in the dark, on your radio, on your internet, and wherever you might be. We're standing by listening for any and all check-ins, especially the glow-in-the-dark radios. 84. And there is one now, I betcha. 84. Hello, Jerry. Go right ahead.
Hello, Dennis. We've got to check in this Johnson Messenger, 223. I haven't checked it in for a while. But we are on a stock Johnson desk mic, and looks like the Turner Plus 2. And it says Johnson all over it. So apparently it's a Johnson over.
Yeah, what do we call them? The Elmer Fudd Johnson, E.F. Johnson. One of the few manufacturers that check in on the Old Tube Radio network that are actually still around making radios. Maybe not for 11 meters, but I do believe E.F. Johnson, I think, is still producing some business band style radios. And they have a good history. They have a good history of some big, huge glow-in-the-dark transmitters that are still coveted by many and go for some great prices. Man, I just saw a rebuilt, I want to say it was a Viking Valiant or something, and it was thousands of dollars, and it had been totally taken apart and repainted and re-chromed and retubed. So people know what they got when they got the E.F. Johnson. The Messenger 223 was their flagship in the late 60s when they took what was good about the Messenger 1, the Messenger 2, the white face and the black face, and combined them all together. Got the 23 channels and everything you'd want. Your radio number 5. Let me stop talking and let's hear from the glow-in-the-dark radio. Give us another transmission on the 223.
All right, Dennis. Well, since it is a stock mic,